After over a week of just nonstop frustrating news coming from the EIDL grant program and the Paycheck Protection program, I am coming at you with some good news. The SBA is going through their applications and people actually are receiving emails from them to create logins and get these loans processed and get funds in their bank. A user on YouTube by the name of Kai Kim posted a video where he showed the email that he had received and went step by step the next process of accepting the loan, and that's what I'm going to cover here. What exactly you can expect next on your EIDL loan program, and overall, I'm just really excited about this. Finally, there is something happening where it doesn't feel like we're in such a standstill anymore. So let's get right into this. Before this, please remember to like this video. Makes a huge difference. I would appreciate it. And let's get right in. So this is the email that you'll receive from the SBA. It prompts you to create an account. It gives you your application number. You can see this person, their application number was 21,000. My application number was about 36,000. I can expect to receive my email fairly soon, I can only assume. So I'm kind of excited about that for myself personally. He said that he applied on the 30th of March, which is also really good news because I had heard through the grapevine that if you applied before the 31st, you may need to reapply. I didn't see anything certain on that, so I never reported anything just so people didn't reapply and then get sent to the back of the line. But that's also really good news. He applied on Monday the 30th. That was the first full day that they did the Streamline online application, where you need to make sure you check the box for the EIDL advanced $10,000 grant portion. So we know the system's working, you don't have to reapply. And also some people's suspicions were correct that you would need to make an account. If you haven't received this email, you can actually already make an account beforehand. I'm not sure how, ahead of the game that'll make you, but I know you can definitely do that. There are already portals where you can apply for disaster loans through the SBA. If you want to make an account, you can. I'm not sure if your loan will be there or not. Just saying. So it tells you the application number, prompts you to create an account, brings you to this page where you enter your email, you make a password, create that account through the SBA for your EIDL loan. And then it brings you to this page, which is really important because it shows you the amount that you're eligible for. This person, it says $15,000, and it seems, now that I've looked into it, a lot of people are going to receive that $15,000 loan offer. There's going to be more details on that in a minute later on in this video, but he received this $15,000, and it's important to note that that's not in addition to the $10,000 advance amount. This is a separate loan amount. I'll get into that. So it asks you a couple things here: verify your identity, electronic disbursement. So let's move on to the next step. So this is the actual loan amount. This is really important because it lets you choose the amount you actually want to receive. For those out there who just want to be considered for the EIDL grant amount, you would actually choose 0. But I would like you to consider potentially getting some if your business is really in danger of failing if you don't get funds, because these loan terms really aren't that bad. It's a 30-year loan with a 3.75% interest rate, and I mean up to 30 years. That's like $70 a month for 30 years if you got that full $15,000. So that's something to consider if your business is really in need of funds. 3.75 really isn't bad. That's, given inflation, that's pretty close to free money at that interest rate. So, you can choose 15,000, you can choose 1,000. Obviously, don't go in debt if you don't need to go in debt. Don't get this loan and then just go on a shopping spree because someone is just giving you, a $15,000 loan. Be responsible with it. I know a lot of you are small business owners, and $15,000 can make a huge difference. I mean, really, you could take this $15,000 and put it into something to expand your business. I mean, you can do anything with this loan amount. That's important. This isn't the forgivable amount. This isn't the thing that you need to spend on payroll or rent or utilities or anything specific. You can use this money for anything on your business. And if you've ever applied for a loan through your business, it is a pain to get anything. And if you're a new business, good luck getting under like 10% interest rate. My very first truck loan through my business, I had the 10% interest rate, and that's on an asset. If I defaulted on that loan, they'd have that asset to resell, and it was still a 10% interest rate. There's no asset backing this. You don't need to personally guarantee this. They do a credit check. I don't know how much that makes a difference, but This is not an asset-backed loan. You can use this to further your business, and that's something to think about. This could be a springboard for someone in their business. I know, yes, we're not really thinking, of the future right now. We're thinking of the now and survival, but in a month, when things hopefully are clearing up, this might be a huge opportunity for someone to, get a $15,000 cash infusion, maybe buy that truck that you needed, buy that piece of equipment that you needed to level things up, buy some extra inventory on, something area to try. Don't kill yourself, don't, do anything too crazy, reckless, but just consider that as just a loan amount, because, like I said, that can make a big difference for someone. So here's some important things with the terms. Sorry if this is a little hard to read. I'm going to read it out loud for you. The repayment starts 12 months after closing. That's really important. So payments were originally deferred 6 months with a 12-month option. Now it is apparently 12 months, no payments, which is huge. No interest, no payments for 12 months. I mean, again, back to this is a potentially really good loan just to get for your business if you're looking to expand in some way or do something that you weren't able to afford in the first place. So let's read this. An important message regarding your loan amount. Our nation's small businesses, private and nonprofit organizations are facing an unprecedented economic disruption due to COVID-19. The SBA is experiencing a large volume of applications for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Due to current appropriations for this program, the SBA will make an initial loan disbursement for 2 months of working capital up to a maximum of $15,000 per applicant. So that is probably based on credit. I can only assume how much each applicant gets because in order to apply this in the first place, you didn't have to submit any form of proof or documents or anything like that. So I can only assume that goes off of credit. And I mean, I'm not surprised that everyone and their mother applied for this. So yeah, they're getting inundated with these loan amounts, and it's a reasonable amount to have this cash infusion, but it is saying the $15,000 potential maximum per applicant is just the first installment. You can potentially get more. So if your business needs more, this is just the first installment. This is the next important part. This is in addition to the advance of up to $10,000 each small business and nonprofit is eligible to receive. I find that interesting that they didn't mention the $1,000 per employee thing. That's another hopeful piece. Maybe they reverted that because of all the just absolute pushback. We can only hope a little bit. I'm personally not going to bank on that too much. I personally would rather expect $1,000 and then get $3,000 than expect $10,000 and get $3,000. Just setting that bar low, because really, how often do you get a free lunch in this world? Not very often. Usually things that are too good to be true are, unfortunately. But that looks like pretty good news to me. On to the next part. By doing this, the SBA will ensure that it is supporting the greatest number of applicants during this difficult time, which only makes sense because literally millions of businesses applied. I do kind of wish that there was different levels, like a smaller level for any business and then a higher level with some proof. That way, people, because with this, someone could have a business that earns $2,000 a year and get a loan amount for $15,000, which is pretty crazy for a business that does $2,000 a year, and that could take funds away from someone who has a business that does, let's say, $200,000 a year and has a few employees. So that's a little bit crappy that it could potentially take away from someone else if someone has a really small business and that isn't their survival. But what can you do? That's just how the program is set up. There's the Paycheck Protection loan program as well, which is better for smaller businesses, but that's a whole additional process and it's going to take a little bit longer than this one. The next part, additional options available to help small businesses include the recently launched Paycheck Protection Program. What I was talking about for payroll costs, the Paycheck Protection Program offers loans of up to $10 million at a 1% interest rate. That's another thing to consider if you applied for the Paycheck Protection Program. That 1% interest rate, that basically is free money. That's another thing to consider for expanding your business, and it's probably going to be a higher amount than the EIDL loan, depending on your business. These loans mature in 2 years, but the amount of the loan used for payroll and certain operating expenses in the first 8 weeks after loan disbursement may be forgiven if the business uses a minimum of 75% of the loan for payroll. We've gone over that before in my other videos. You have to use 75% of the forgivable amount in order to get that full forgivable amount 8 weeks after. So then on to here, if you agree to all those terms, you choose the amount of loan you want to receive and you click accept at the bottom. This is exciting, we're actually getting somewhere. And then it's the amount confirmed. After that, you just need to verify your identity. You click in there And it just asks you those questions that you're like, how do they know that about me? It's like, in which one of these years were you born? And it gives you 3, and somehow the computer knows all this information about you. What was your mother's maiden name? And somehow, you know, those kind of tricky questions that you're like, how does the computer know that about me? Another important thing here, it gives you a spot to fill in your bank account information. If you fill out the Streamline application, you already put in your bank account information, but a question that I've received like 6 times is, I entered in the wrong bank account information. Can I go back and edit it? And I didn't really have an answer for that until now. This is great. You can edit that bank account information to whatever you need it to be, to, you know, your business account or whatever. If you put the wrong number, you can edit that. And then it says to sign closing documents, but the closing documents aren't on this application. All you do is accept this current portion, and then it looks like they're going to send you closing documents in the next few days. You can see this application went from processing, now it's in the funding section, so that's all that's really left, is getting that money in your account. You can only expect to get those closing documents, I would say, you know, give it a week. Let's not be too overzealous here. You know what, let's just assume it's going to be several weeks, and then we'll be pleasantly surprised if it's less. So you'll receive a follow-up email with your loan documents. After you accept all those loan documents, then you'll have funds in your account based off of what your accepted loan amount is. Now, this doesn't mention anything about the advance. This is just an emergency deposit of funds to hopefully get these businesses out of the strife that need it ASAP. So that's really exciting for just the survival of businesses. That's what I'm really concerned about and making all these videos for, to just help businesses potentially survive that are like eagerly waiting for funds in order to pay their bills. So that's really excited. So I will keep you guys updated on anything else that I find on these processes. Again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Only like 10% of you are subscribed. Subscribe to the darn channel, jeez. I'm putting out all this content, come on. Until next time, thanks for watching. Hope you have a profitable day.